The month-long restriction on public movements which prevailed across the entire island was lifted for 3 days with effect from 4 a.m. today. However, 29 Grama Niladhari divisions across 12 districts identified as high-risk areas went into a state of isolation at 4 this morning until further notice. As the day broke, roads in Colombo looked excruciatingly similar to pre-pandemic days as there were a large influx of vehicles to the city, resulting in heavy traffic congestion. However, adjoining areas of the usually busy Peta did not witness large crowds today. With public transport services in the Western Province only limited to essential services and office staff, the general public complained about a significant delay in reporting to work as a result of inadequate transport facilities. The transportation woes extended to train commuters as well, despite the Department of Railways increasing the number of journeys commencing from the Fort Railway Station, operating within the provincial limits to 23. Private sector employees in particular were disgruntled for being overlooked when providing transport services. In such a backdrop, more guidelines have been issued by the Director General of Health Services, this time targeting government, semi-government and private sector institutions in a bid to address the overcrowding streets. Heads of all government and semi-government institutions falling under essential services are instructed to call only the essential cadre for work. As for government and semi-government institutions not falling under essential services, any official can only be called to work for 2 days of the week. That too has to be done if the employee's duty cannot be fulfilled from home. Since transportation services are limited to essential services, employees called to work should be provided with necessary transportation facilities in line with health guidelines. In case of the private sector, institutional heads are instructed to call the minimum cadre to work. However, working from home should be encouraged. Meanwhile, the Department of Excise yesterday granted permission for wine stores with retail license FL4 and those with beer, ale, stout and wine license for retail sale FL22A to open for business during the 3 days of relaxed movement restrictions. After weeks of not having access to liquor, it was no surprise that long queues were formed at outlets permitted to sell liquor. Similarly, long queues were seen outside shops, banks and other financial institutions as well, including pawning centres. Meanwhile, the situation outside Colombo wasn't much different. People thronged towns with no regard for health and safety guidelines. The people's behaviour as a whole drew criticism from President of the Public Health Inspectors Union, Upul Rohana. He warned that continuation of this ignorant behaviour will see the pandemic situation escalate once more in a couple of weeks' time. Rohana also urged people to keep in mind that the deadly Delta variant of COVID-19 is also in the community at present when they mix in society. In the meantime, all economic centres in the island were open today as well. The prices of the produce, however, were little changed as traders complained of inflated prices along with a shortage of produce. They also voiced their difficulties in selling produce forced to purchase at high prices at even greater prices to consumers. The Paliaguda fish market too was open for trade this morning. The police meanwhile continued to apprehend people acting in defiance of quarantine rules and regulations, with over 800 people taken into custody during the last 24-hour cycle. Among them are the chairman of the Talavakele Lindula Urban Council and 6 others who were arrested for organising a function in Talavakele yesterday in violation of quarantine laws. This brings the total arrest made by police since the 30th of October last year for similar offences to 41,580.
පුංචිම දෙයකින් ලොකු වෙනසක්. සැෂේ වලට වඩා සන්සිල්ක් ලොකු බෝතලෙන් රුපියල් 20ක ඉතිරියක්.